NBA games yesterday. Caught some of the Pelican game. I'm looking down the stretch where B.I. at, Brandon Ingram at. And, Zion ended up getting hurt. Don't know what he hurt. They had played the Kings for the 8th and final spot was it probably Thursday? The West seemed to be pretty exciting by today's standards. Let's talk about the Laker game first, since it went first. Pelicans, they doing insanity, bro. One thing a lot of these NBA teams got to recognize, man, if these guys are 20, 21, 23, 25, they young and they constantly still getting injured. I'm telling y'all, I say this about Joel Embiid too, man. I understand you got a big talent and it's hard to find. You're not going to get equal trade value. But if they always falling short and getting injured or the conditioning not there, then they're not putting enough work in the offseason. It's as simple as that. They're not putting enough work in. A lot of times, I'm cutting bait with guys like that. Soon as they have a good season or they having a good stretch, I'm cutting their ass. Yeah, my Charleston white boys. I'm cutting their ass. I'm trading their ass, excuse me. And you can't count on Brandon Ingram. He always injured. You can't count on Zion Williamson. Dropped the 40 ball, 3 minutes and 12 seconds left yesterday. He ended up getting injured. You can't count on these guys. You don't get healthier as you get younger, especially if you don't change your habits. And then, it seemed like Zion was getting in better shape, still got injured. So, at the end of the day, the Pelicans got to do what they got to do. They got to liquidate them guys into the assets that can help them out. It's simple as that. They trying to build a house. They trying to build a home with styrofoam foundation. And, Lakers, Zion came out with something to prove. He heard people talking about he always bowing down, something about playing against the Lakers. Detroit native, Cooley High native, Willie Green had them ready to go. He had them ready to go. And they came back, stormed back. And the big thing was Brandon Ingram had somewhat of an injury, so he was on a minute restriction from what I understand. Zion did that. Now, was that a foul down the stretch where he bumped I forget the guy's name, and they stole the ball? Yeah, that was a foul. That should have been a foul. When they, where he bumped him to the floor and they didn't call nothing. That was a foul. But they gonna favor the Lakers even in the Pelicans, and shout out to the Lakers. LeBron made a big three. AD had big rebounds. Austin Reeves and AD made their free throws, but they beat a Pelicans team that didn't have their two best players on the court and barely beat them. Had Zion and Ingram been healthy, that game probably wouldn't have been competitive last night. But they wasn't, and they never are healthy. So at the end of the day, Lakers win the date versus the Denver Nuggets, and they got a chance. Anytime you got, LeBron and Anthony Davis, and and injuries are so prominent in the NFL and the NBA, anything can happen. Yeah. Anything can happen. So I'll give them a chance to win that series. More than a small chance, maybe a medium chance. I'll give them a chance to win that series, man. So just a really small chance to win that series, man. And but they did what they had to do. Austin Reeves made some big shots, but D'Angelo Russell had the big game, made 3 in the corner to ice it. So ultimately the Pelicans, they think them guys gonna get healthier. They not. They better off starting over right now and saving themselves. Talk about the Warriors. Keegan Murray came up big. Really didn't like him coming out of Iowa. He got a lot of length though. He shoot the ball well. He do what they need him to do well, defend, shoot well. Just didn't seem good enough athletically to me. But hey, he good for what they do over there in Sacramento. Shoot the ball well. Defensively consistent. But Sacramento just, like I continue to say, even with getting Keegan Murray, they missing that guy that can go get his bucket, go get a bucket. They missing a Kevin Durant, they missing a Kyrie Irving, somebody else that can really go get a bucket on the wing and flat out score. But they did the thing last night, and the Warriors is over with, and it's Sacramento. They played well. Warriors got close. Clay was 0 for 10. Somebody gonna pay Clay. We know that. Somebody gonna pay him in the offseason. Probably my dumbass Pistons. He was 0 for 10. Coming off the 2 surgeries, you knew he wouldn't be the same. And it's over with for the Warriors. You know, put a nail in them, put a nail in the coffin. If KD never joined them, it'd have been over for them a lot earlier, in my opinion. They was a blip to KD, made them a trend. Simple as that. In my opinion, they was never winning another title without Kevin Durant. Straight up and down. All right. So they're Dynasty. They're one of the greatest teams out there. But you know, to me, it's over with. You know, now, you know, what can you put around Clay and what can you put around Steph? Draymond, you know, I think they pay Draymond, and he'd be gone. Clay would be gone. You know, this is what they did. They should have, you know, developed Kuminga, Wiseman, Poole more, and then that would have been and Moody, and that would have been an easy transition. Now they got to find a way to put assets and get guys to come in there and play with Steph Curry, which ain't hard. Steph Curry's the Bay Area, but it's over with. You know, and I'm glad it's over with. I'm tired of looking at their ass. You know, that's just natural. You know, ain't nothing no ill will towards him. Draymond from Michigan. I love Klay Thompson. Steph Curry, okay. Not a big fan, not the hugest fan of Steph Curry on the court. But the greatest shooter of all time. So it'll be interesting. I think he got to do the Reggie Miller, the Larry Bird, stay in one place. And I'd be interested to see how they retool. I think this played Steve Kerr. So it'll be interesting to see how they retool around him. Now they wishing they took LaMelo Ball. And like I said before, it makes some bad organization places. And one thing about coaches, man, if you can find a coach that has the patience, the Warriors would have been better off with a coach that was patient, was more patient at development. And it's never go unseen that Mark Jackson developed those guys. You know, Mark Jackson developed those guys, man. And Steve Kerr failed to develop Wiseman. He failed to develop Poole for real. And find an integral part. That had a lot to do with Draymond punching him. Failed to develop Moses Moody, Kuminga. Only Kuminga started to get minutes when he started fucking complaining. Let's not act like that ain't the case. He started getting minutes when he started fucking complaining. So Steve Kerr is just not a really good coach as far as developing talent. And I didn't know they paid him to stay there, but he ain't developed a goddamn thing in Golden State. And this is why they going, you know, this is why they gonna go through a rocky shift period. You gotta ask yourself, you know, Steph, do you want to be there? Do you go somewhere else? And I think Steph, they gotta do the best job to retool it around Steph. But hey, Sacramento, Pelicans for the 8th spot. The way Sacramento win that game. Ingram not healthy, Zion not healthy. Pelicans gotta make some changes. Golden State gotta make some changes. You know, so Lakers and Nuggets probably gonna be the Kings and the OKC Thunder. So that'd be a really good series. Both of those, you know, Lakers are, you know, they got LeBron and AD. Anytime you got those guys, you got a chance. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Check out the NBA Talk playlist. Hit the link tree. Find me on Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, the whole nine. Appreciate the love and support. Peace.